Thank you and welcome to You Bet Your Ass. Here we are again with $10 for our couples. If any of them say the secret word, they'll win an extra $1. The word tonight is... The word tonight is... All right. Robin, who's first?
Well, Hojo, Mr. Monero and Mr. Johnson are waiting to talk to you. So, people, won't you come in and meet Hojo Stern?
Well, welcome to our show. You are Tony Monero, and you claim to have had sex with the late John Lennon. Is that right? Did you have sex or not with John Lennon?
About it.
You claim that you had sex with him, didn't you?
Mr. Lennon approached me in that vein, okay? But
And you never experienced any kind of homosexual sex with Mr. John Lennon?
No, not doing it, but he did approach me for it, and he didn't make the attempt to do it.
What part did he do?
Yes.
Well, he tried real hard. Let me put it to you that way.
Well, what is so special about you that John Lennon would want to have sex with
You have
you?
to dig him up out of the grave and ask him.
Now, why did you tell our screeners that you had sex with John Lennon?
No, it was misconstrued, my good man.
It was misconstrued.
You're absolutely right.
If it was misconstrued, actually, I think you were misconstrued, weren't you?
No probability.
Well, what exactly happened when you met John Lennon that night?
Oh, when I met him that day.
Where were you?
It was about 10 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking through the village. And he was walking with Harry Nielsen.
Right.
And I just saw him, and I said, oh, John Lennon. Of course, he was
All right,
my
you walked
idol.
up to John Lennon and you made an
I said
introduction?
hello, yes.
You said you're Tony Monero?
No, I said, hello, Mr. Lennon. I enjoy your music very well, and I like you, and thank you for the good music.
And he asked you to
said,
hang
come
out?
on,
He
yeah,
said, come on
come
into
for a drink.
And you went out to a drink with John Lennon?
Sure did, wouldn't you?
And at that point, would I?
Sure.
I might.
Most definitely.
And you don't have any sex with him? Do you kiss him?
No, he tried to kiss me.
He tried to kiss you. He leaned over and he kissed you?
Several
on the
times.
lips?
He tried to.
Did you kiss him back?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't give him any tongue?
No way.
And at no point did he take off your clothes?
No, he tried to. When we went back to the hotel,
So you went back to John Lennon's hotel. Now,
yeah, we were all hanging out.
Didn't you think this was a little dangerous that he'd been coming on to you all night? And why would you go back to the hotel if you didn't want sex from John Lennon?
Well, it wasn't that I didn't want sex. I didn't want sex from him, okay? I was
Right.
hoping to meet some birds and bring them up there with him.
I
And we
see.
could have partied out.
Gary, come here for a second. I hate to break character, but come here for a second. Now, you told me that you spoke to Mr. Monero on the phone, and he told you that he slept with John Lennon, didn't he?
Not only did I speak to him on the phone, but myself and our executive producer and our producer interviewed him.
Right.
And he said he spent a couple of days in a hotel room with him.
Yeah, but I didn't say that I consummated, okay? I said I hung out with him and I spent time with him. But I didn't say that we had sex. He did make the advances for sex. Yes, this is true.
Gary, I don't know
But I
who's
didn't
making me...
adhere to it.
Excuse me, Mr. Monero. I don't know who's making me more nauseous, this cigar, Mr. Monero, or you. Now, when you screen a
Compiled all
contestant...
together.
Excuse me, when you screen a contestant, he told you that he had sexual intercourse with...
Right, he's not changing his story.
He's changing his story.
no,
You're
no,
claiming
no.
he had a different story.
Yeah.
I do deny that. I said that to Gary, yes.
All right, for the record, it's noted. Very good, Gary.
I don't understand. What happened?
I understand what happened. Either I'm going to put the cigar out on Gary's head, or Mr. Monero's full of it.
No, tell him the truth.
Let's move along, I suppose, to
All
Mr.
right.
Johnson.
Now, it says here that your name is David Johnson. You're from Brooklyn, New York, and you're age 27.
That's right.
You're half African, and you're half Welsh. Is that correct?
That's right.
I see.
My mother's from Wales and my father's from Alabama.
All right, and your hobby is that you are part of a gospel choir called the Lavender Lights.
Lavender Light, that's
I've never heard of that choir. Now, at age 5, it says here you saw The Wizard of Oz, and you picked up the voices immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And that you do a lot of different Wizard of Oz type voices. Isn't that correct?
I do all the voices. I know the whole thing by heart and the music in between as well.
So if I was to ask you right now to put on the different costumes there and actually reenact The Wizard of Oz and do the whole Wizard of Oz for us, you could do actual scenes from The Wizard of Oz.
If there was time, I could do the whole thing.
You actually memorized the entire script of The Wizard of Oz.
Well, first I learned the record as a kid. Like
Yeah.
any record you own, you learn the record.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got older, I used to go to see the movie at the Regency.
Could you do a scene? What scene would you like to do from The Wizard of Oz?
Oh, all right.
What would you like to do?
I'll do the end.
The end of the movie?
I'll do saying goodbye and back to.
So you'll be playing the roles of Dorothy and who else?
The Lion,
Yeah.
the Tin Man,
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Em, Professor Marvel, Uncle Henry.
All right.
The Scarecrow is there, but he doesn't say anything.
All right, this isn't something you learned for our show. This is something you've been doing all along.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's take a look at that.
All right. This is the end where she says goodbye.
All right.
It's going to be so hard to say goodbye. I love you all, too. Goodbye, Tin Man. Oh, don't cry. You'll rust so dreadfully. Here's your oil can. Goodbye. Now I know I've got a heart, because it's breaking. Goodbye, Lion. I know it isn't right, but I'm going to miss the way you used to holler for help before you found your courage. I would have never found it if it hadn't been for you. I think I'll miss you most of all. Are you ready now? Yes? Say goodbye, Toto. Yes, I'm ready now. Then close your eyes, tap your heels together 3 times, and think to yourself, there's no place like home. 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 And then there's a lot of swirling, and then she's asleep, and she says, there's no place like home. Wake up, honey. There's no place like home. Oh, and Anne, it's you. Yes, darling. Here, is anyone home? I just dropped by because I heard the little girl got caught in a big... Well, she seems all right now. Yeah, she got quite a bump on the head. We kind of thought she was going to leave us for a minute. But I did leave you, Uncle Henry. That's just the trouble. And I tried to get back for days and days. There, lie quiet now. You've just had a bad dream. Well, it goes on and on.
Very good. Oh, very good. Well, you're an interesting couple, and I could continue all night. But we have to play the game now.
Okay.
Welcome back to You Bet Your Ass. Once again, here's Houcho.
Well, our contestants tonight are playing for money amounts. Each contestant receives $10 to bet with at the start of the game. Now, answer the question correctly, and you win the amount that you wager. For example, a $5 bet, you win $5. All right, now you've selected music and entertainment as your category. What do you want to start with? How much?
$2.
$2?
That's good for you. Okay.
All right, $2. He's the host of Soul Train. Please confer.
Don Cornelius. Oh, you could answer that one.
All right.
Don Cornelius.
That's correct. You now have $12. All right, how much now?
$2 then? All right, $2.
$2. From which Beatles album does And in Your... excuse me. And in the end... and in the end, the love you make is equal to the love come from. Where does that come from?
Abbey Road.
That's correct.
Very good. That is $14 now,
Houcho.
Oh, Houcho. Sorry.
The illusion's really working.
I was really getting into it.
You're looking more like him every day.
That Bill Cosby show is going to be a big success, don't you think? All right, how much money do you want to play for now?
Go for 4. Should we double? $4. Okay,
yeah.
$4. You're very brave. You're very, very brave.
Believe it coming in.